Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 36 of Hearts of Iron 4 as the German Reich. I managed to find out a few things since I last played, including how to actually use a nuke. Apparently what you have to do is click on an enemy county and there is a button somewhere on this interface that allows you to do that. There we go, click to drop a nuclear bomb. Now you do need to have strategic bombers in range and you also need to have air superiority in order to be able to do that, but at least we now know how we can do it. Somebody else also mentioned something that was quite useful, and I don't think I've ever used this, but somewhere, I'm not even sure where it is, there's apparently something that you can change somewhere that allows you to set how harshly you treat... what are these things? Are these all damaged? There's something that allows you to decide how harshly you treat resistance. Click to manage the occupation of Ile-de-France. Yeah, there we go. So you can decide what your occupational policy is. So we are on gentle. We could go to harsh, which reduces manpower. We could get more manpower if we went on to gentle resistance. And we get less resistance growth. But factories wouldn't put out quite as much. But maybe if we do that with Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, maybe even France. So let's go ahead and do that. That might help us out a little bit. So what I want to try and do at the moment, we've got our 2 lots of paratroopers that are ready to go here. We do need air superiority before we can really do that. We do have some more paratroopers coming in. And someone did suggest trying to do a naval invasion from Norway, which is not a terrible idea. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to take the reserves and the special reserves. We're just going to basically fold them all into one single single army. We're going to take out a few units here. I think we will... Now these are just the normal panzers, aren't they? So we'll take the medium tanks out. So there's 3 medium tanks. Let's put you in a new army. We'll sort you out later on. We still need to get rid of a few more from here. Do want to leave some of the tanks in. So let's just go ahead and take a few infantry divisions out, so we can do that. And in fact, I think what I want to do is... let's take those 3 panzers and let's go and send them down to join those ones, even though they're not really going to be all that useful. So what we're going to do here then with the reserves is we are basically going to get them up here to a port. So we can do that. We should be able to get there safely. We're going to use our navy, and what we're going to do for the time being is patrol in this area, just so that we can keep our troops safe as they cross over there. So we're going to use this remaining time to continue to build planes. Now, people do keep saying that they really, really want me to change my conscription law, and I know I should. The problem is, the moment I do that, we lose a lot of factory output, and I'm trying to produce as many planes as possible. So as soon as we're ready to go... and we're ready for that naval invasion, we'll set that naval invasion up. As soon as that's ready to go, we will make the change. In fact, we might even just do it now anyway, just to stop people's butts from imploding. So let's go and change to... I think it's all adults must serve. So on service by requirement is 10%, so all adults must serve. The problem I have with doing that is while I'm still fighting this battle down here, if I end up... using a lot of that manpower, I may end up not being able to field all of the planes that I want to, and that's going to be a problem. So we're sort of holding these guys off down here. We're not really making a lot of ground against them, but we are sort of holding them back. We're taking a lot of attrition, which is also a problem. But it's going to be really, really difficult to try and get around there, to be quite honest. I mean, we could take one of these divisions, like the medium tanks here, and we could try and attempt to do a naval invasion... somewhere. We're not actually in a port, are we? So there's the problem. So we could go from Bangkok and try and land behind them somewhere. There's a possibility it might work. And we don't have any transports. What have we got here? 41 divisions from Hungary. Don't really need them at the moment. So did you guys decide not to actually move? There are no units assigned to this order. Control and click to assign units to this order. There we go. We do have some transport. So hopefully we do have naval superiority down there. Japan should have naval superiority down there. So we're going to try and sneak in behind them if we can. So the main thing we want to do is prepare this naval invasion up here. And in fact, what we should be doing with these guys, and we should make sure that they've got their strategic redeployment on. And they should get there a fair bit more quickly. We do have an invasion going on up here, actually. And looks like a lot of our troops seem to forget that this was going on. We want the first reserves. So you guys should be dealing with this right now. As opposed to just sort of standing around. We've got a lot of troops in Great Britain at the moment. Just look how many troops they have over there. It's going to be really, really difficult to try and get in there and do anything to them. But we do need to try and get them out of Dunkirk here. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll just sweep in behind them. Wipe out any units that they have landed. They're not going to get away with that. We should be fine. Also looks like we've got an attack down here coming in as well. So let's just quickly go and grab the Western Front. And you guys can come down here and take these guys out as well. Of course, it's a really easy way for us to get a few cheap and free kills on some of their divisions. So we're about to take another 8 divisions out here. And then we'll go back to defending that line. We should have won this battle here. Oh, they're actually trying to land from the water. That's fine. They can attempt to do that. So, we want these guys. You guys are going to attempt a naval landing. So, naval invasion order. You're going to go from... yeah, probably this sea zone. So, you're going to go from here. This is not a valid province for an invasion. Is it really not? Yeah, it is. And you're going to try and land... Let's see if we can land here. We can take the port. That's probably what we're going to try and do. We might not manage it, but we're certainly going to give it a go. And we'll probably see if we can get some naval bombers up there as well, because I think we do have some naval bombers, though not many. Yeah, we've got 1.7k, so we will try and use some naval bombers to defend this area. So we'll probably move the naval bombers up to one of these places here. They are still trying to invade us constantly. They're just not doing an incredibly good job of it. They keep dropping the odd unit or two in. Do have some naval combat going on in the Baltic. Of course, it never takes me to it when I want to see it. What is going on here? That's our patrol. I want to see the combat. Can't actually see what's going on here. There. Oh, I think we just ran into like a random Swedish submarine, so he's not going to cause too much of a problem. So all of those guys should get up there quite quickly. Ah, it's because we didn't delete this flipping order over here. That's the problem. Delete order. There we go. Back about your business. So they should all be onto... do hate the control scheme of this game sometimes. All of you guys get onto that order there. 24 divisions. There we go. And you should all have your strategic redeployment on. Otherwise it's just going to take forever. The paratroopers are ready to go. Now then, let's have a little look down here and see how things are going. Looks like we're mostly in... No, we're not in place. You guys are just sat here. Thought you had a naval invasion order. 24 divisions. Invasion is still preparing. Well, you're in the wrong place, but you still might be able to pull it off. If we can get behind them, and we might have a chance of pushing them back. So we're not going to concentrate down there too much for the time being. We are going to try and deal with what's happening over here. We are getting into place. Now, this naval invasion, this is going to take a little while. This is going to be... Only 14 of 84 days, so we've still got a while for that to happen. But that is when we will try and do our stuff. We've got our nukes ready. We do we have some strategic bombers? I thought we had at least one or two. Apparently we do not. So we can't even use nukes right at the moment. Can we produce a strategic bomber? We don't have any free factories at the moment. We're still working on fighters. We're still working on naval bombers. Let's go and change one of the fighters to strategic bombers. We're using some pretty old ones, but we just want to get a few bombers going so we can actually try and drop a nuke on Great Britain. It'll help them to capitulate. So we'll keep our eye down here. This naval invasion will be ready first. So it is the medium tank army. Now, we don't want them to get sunk, hopefully. So we've got to be careful here. But if we can get them in behind them, and we can cut them off from their ports by attacking from the rear, that should really screw them up. I mean, we're certainly holding the line, so that is not too much of a problem. But yeah, if we can get in behind them, that will really make a huge deal of difference to us. 39 of 84 days. So we're almost halfway there. They're still attempting a lot of naval invasions. There's still a few battles going on. Again, it's always like one random submarine that we're not quite managing to take out. Not really causing too much of a problem. This was mainly just to protect these guys from getting up here. Now then, these guys are just kind of spares at the moment, so that's fine. So yeah, you're getting ready to land. You're going to take still quite a few days to get over there. It is going to be very, very risky dropping in here because we know there are units present. Dropping in on top of units can be very, very problematic. And there's no point me even trying to use nukes until I've got air superiority in the area anyway. So we must wait until we can actually do that. How are we doing in terms of satellites and anti-air? Or radar, at least. We could get a little bit more radar over here and here. That would help out nicely. And we've got even better radar now as well, and advanced rockets. So let's just go into our aircraft, and we might need to get some better strategic bombers, because the ones we've got are pretty terrible. And can we get... We're working on the better fighters. So do we need to go for any of this stuff? We could probably go for... I don't really think we need any of that. I think we've done everything in engineering and in industry. That's all finished off now. So we are still working on air, that's fine. So we're not really using bombers. Air doctrine, how are we doing down there? We're working on that. Naval doctrine and infantry doctrine is pretty much done, I think, as well. Yes, there's not really an awful lot to do there. Armour we're pretty much done with. Support battalions are done. Okay, I guess we just start working on some of the better bombers then. We've got to that point now where we've pretty much done all the research we can. So we're literally just waiting for invasions to get ready. That's pretty much what's keeping us busy at the moment. So you guys still haven't arrived yet. You're still getting some attrition. You're kind of just sat there doing not an awful lot. I don't think you had an order down there. I think that was your order there, wasn't it? Yeah, the medium tank division. We need to get rid of that order for you. You shouldn't be down on there. So we're just going to wait for you to move into position. You've still got another 30 days remaining. It's quite some time. But things are still going relatively well. You guys are all sat up there. You are preparing to move in as well. You have still got, again, another 43 days to go. But just look at the amount of units both Great Britain and the Americans are getting in over there. It's a huge, huge amount. Some battles going on down here. Apparently we've got a few convoys being engaged by some submarines. That is unfortunate. We've got 1,000 convoys though, so that's not too bad. Just having a quick look around, checking Africa and a few other places, trying to make sure that the Allies haven't sort of done a naval invasion somewhere that I haven't noticed and we are losing ground to them, but we should be okay. So hopefully we will be able to get in behind them here and do some damage to them. Still haven't managed to get the medium tanks into position yet. 62 of 84 days. 63. So 20 more days and we'll be able to start that invasion. The one up from Norway is going to take a little bit longer. So they're not all tanks. We've got a mix up here. And you guys are going to be ready in 33 days. So we're almost ready to go. And what we'll do, we'll move the Navy over here so that we can patrol this sea zone. So we should be able to get a safe landing. And then we'll bump up our manpower. We will deploy as many jets as we can. So what was that we just finished researching? It was this one. It was the upgraded battleship. Let's start working on the cruisers then. So are we working on any battleships at the moment? Again, we can't deploy. Battleship class 4. So we change you to the super heavy battleship 2. This one. Yeah, we'll lose some days of production. Don't really care all that much. Okay. Still haven't got any more paratroopers yet into that division. Are we still training any more? We do have some paratroopers in training. Let's go ahead and deploy them all instantly. They have gone... They've actually gone straight to the Paras division. That is fine. So they're all automatically deploying to that order, which is fantastic. We are short on rubber. Apparently we're having trouble getting some of it from Japan. I guess the Netherlands are probably controlling most of it, but yeah, we are struggling with that a little bit. We have a surplus of tungsten, so we don't need to import as much of that as we were before. We have a surplus of oil, so we don't need to import as much of that as we were before. Chromium, I think we can get rid of one lot. Rubber, we now have a surplus. And that's about that. Convoy raid. Yeah, we know we lost a few convoys down there. We saw that battle going on. That is fine. We still have low manpower. How are things going on down here? The days have been ticking by nicely. They're still not getting anywhere. We want you guys. So you are up to 80 days. There's 4 days remaining before we are able to try and make that naval invasion. They're still in the wrong place completely, but they might be able to get down there if we are very, very lucky. We've got 6 nukes, and we do need to work on some bombers if we've got any chance of dropping a nuke on the British mainland. And these guys just need to get their organisation together. Obviously, being down here, they're taking quite a lot of attrition. Are they ready to go? Some divisions assigned to this invasion have not reached the start position yet. Well, let's get all you guys to go over to there. And then we'll try and jump in behind them if we can. No guarantee it's going to work. We've got the better strategic bomber. We're going to go and work on the next one as well. We will go and change our production of our strategic bomber to the better one. If we can find it. So we want that one there. And we'll just wait for all of these tanks to get into place. They should get up there. Again, they're getting attrition, which is partly what is causing the issue. But they are all moving in. Very slowly, but they are moving in nonetheless. Obviously, we've got a few more troops that are coming down here to help. So once they all get into position, how long is it going to take them to get there? 3 days and several hours. But if we can get down there and get in behind them, I think we've got a good chance of cutting them off. Because all we really need to do is grab these 2 provinces... or any 2 provinces, and we essentially cut them off from all of their ports. Because I believe their closest port is this one, down here at Kotabaru. So if we cut that off, then they're not going to be getting any resupplies. And that will be really, really good for us. Looks like most of us have arrived in position down there. So we do lack sufficient intel for this naval invasion, but we're going to go ahead and click the button anyway. I'm really, really hoping... I mean, we might just lose all the medium tanks here. This is a real possibility that that is what's going to happen. However, I'm hoping that Japan at least have got some naval... No, we can't do anything down there. We lack sufficient intel to send an invasion. Performing naval invasions requires naval supremacy along areas in its path. This is gained by air superiority and ships on missions. Well, we don't have any ships down here, unfortunately. So we still can't send them down there unless we can get a navy down there, which is going to be a little bit difficult. So I guess we'll just have to sit and wait, and if that's the case, we are going to get ready to invade Britain, and that is going to be on the next video. So on the next video, for better or worse, whether or not this works or not, I'm going to go and pull the trigger and see what we can do. So I'm going to pause things there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hearts of Iron 4. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.